All right, all right. We are back another Tuesday with Kingdom Global Media, living your truth. Arch,
A terrific Tuesday. How you doing, Chantel?
I am great. I am amazing.
Wonderful, 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 wonderful. It is good to be on the podcast. And how's the weather there in Florida?
It's great. It really feels good. Not too hot now, not cold.
Wow, that is awesome. That is very, very, very good. So, what we got up for today?
So, we are still in the political debate and we're still talking politics. And we're just living our truth. We're going to talk about how politics come in with our life and our decisions, and what decisions are we making.
All right, some hot topics on today.
Hmm.
And I believe we are live via Facebook. So, those of you that are on, like, share, and tag on this terrific Tuesday because you only have us for about 45 to 50 minutes. And so, let's make this a great conversational piece on today.
Yes, yes, yes. We are coming. I believe we're around lunchtime. Hopefully, you've gotten you something quick to eat. You feel good. You're ready to talk politics now. Now, Arch, and I'm going to be honest and transparent. We live in our truth. He dragged me in on this debate.
Yes, 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 because you love to stay behind the veil in the secret and the holies of holies, and so I understand. I'm married to a woman of God that just the all things kingdom and things all things church, but I get it, so I understand. But
And now she stay low key too. Now she kind of has her. She'll stay low key until she have to pop out.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, Angela Brown is on. Old school is here. Top of the day. Hey, good morning or good afternoon, Angela Brown.
All right. She our number one guest. Angie be on time before time. She be ready.
Absolutely. Y'all, those of you that are coming on, go ahead, like, share, and tag. We're talking all things politics on today because we are, as Chantel said, in a political climate. And the election is, I think, what is the election? About 17, 16 days away,
Uh,
November 5th. Uh,
yes,
something
November
like
5th.
and those who have not voted need to vote. And those who have already voted, thank you for your vote. Your vote counts, whether it's a red vote or a blue vote. Every vote counts. And Angela Brown says, yes, we're going to have to make sure we send her to dinner. She is so supportive. She is so supportive. She should have been a therapist or something like that.
Angie, the next time I say something, I need you to comment yes. I don't care what it is, comment yes.
Uh, so what we got? We starting off with a video today.
Yes, we are starting off with a video just to start what we have going on today. So let me go ahead and pull this video up and get us started.
We know there's a lot of pageantry in the presidency.
Mostly pageantry, I would argue.
So, as a Pan-Africanist, what we have representing our country as the United States of America can be one or two things right now. Billionaire, older white man who has been known to not care about the black community.
Correct.
Or a black woman that at least shows that she has some sense of compassion, empathy for the people of the United States of America.
But this is the same woman who said, I'm not going to do anything that's going to only benefit black people, while she sat in office and watched President Joe Biden pass an anti-Asian hate bill, anti-Asian hate executive order, Native American executive order, LGBTQ executive order, and law.
Now, those are a lot of semantics in the sense because we've heard this argument before. She can say a lot of that stuff is taken out of context. A lot of the process of when she's saying she wants to do things for all people and not just black people specifically. We're going back to what I said, as in the pageantry of representation. You still would lean more to say that you would this old, rich, billionaire, 1% white man be the representation of the United States of America, opposed to a woman who has done the work.
What work?
She's definitely done community work.
What has she done for black people.
So I got to just ask this question then. Who is Dr. Umar Johnson voting for?
I don't have a reason to vote for either candidate. I might show up and vote for the Honorable Frederick Douglass. I might vote for Queen Mother Ida B. Wells.
Marcus
I might vote for Sojourner Truth. I might vote for Booker T. I might vote for Fred Hampton, George Jackson. But I promise you one thing, I'm not voting for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris.
So what's the solution?
For Vice President Harris, she can get my vote. Former President Trump, he could get my vote. Make a public pledge of what you're going to do for us when you get in there. That includes one of the 5 major areas of concern for Black America.
Which are?
Miseducation, mass incarceration, homelessness and gentrification, police assassination, and economic apartheid.
Wow, that was a lot right there. And I'm going to want to get your thoughts on it as our audience is building, liking, sharing, and tagging. Again, we're talking about the political climate. Are Republicans for the elite or Democrats for the underdog? I like that. All right, Angela Brown, please inbox us. What is your favorite steak restaurant so we can send you there, or seafood restaurant? Listen, what did you think about the video?
I mean, you know, I'm with Umar. I'm like, show me what we're doing. You know, when nobody gets my vote until you really show me what you're doing. You know, because we're taking your time, we're taking our energy, we're standing in lines, and so. How are we fixing? What is the solution? You know, I hear so many debates about this person did this and Harris did this and Trump did this, but we're not talking about their past anymore. We're talking about right now, this present time. Who is going to pledge and say how we're going to fix what we have going on right now? Who's going to say we're standing up for miseducation? Who's going to stand up and say that, the jail and the imprisonment and the mass incarceration of our men? You know, who's standing up to do that? And right now, I haven't heard anyone, you know, address that issue, even with the police and, you know, just all that stuff. Like, who's standing up really saying, what is the solution?
Former President Donald J. Trump.
What is he saying?
I
know we got another video coming up on him, but what is
he has given us solutions. Okay. So, you know, one of my things I always say is that going there cannot tell been there how to get there. Mm-hmm. So obviously it takes somebody who has done it. I would rather have someone who has a proven track record to say, I'm going to build you this house, mm-hmm. versus a bunch of people saying, I'm going to build you this house, and they ain't never built the house.
Right.
But if you have a proven track record to say, I have done XYZ, then it comes across to me that you have, at least you have the capabilities to do what it is that you're saying that you're going to do.
Right.
So again, that's kind of where I stand at. President Trump, again, we all know that it was the Democrats that signed the crime bill back in the 90s. It was President Trump that did the prison reform when he was in office. So, you know, so when we say who's doing what, mass incarceration, President Trump has been a person who has been very, and here's the thing. I love what people do. People always try to get into, well, why do they do it? Did we have to turn their arms? Let me say this. I don't trust no politician. Now, I lean on that President Trump is not a politician. He's a businessman that, of course, has fulfilled the role of politics. But if you are a stone cold politician, I really don't trust none of them, because a lot of them sometimes, you know, they're doing it because the people are making them do it. So when people start saying, well, why did President Trump do prison reform? I don't care. He did it. That's like saying, well, why did Bill Clinton and Joe Biden and them sign prison reform or mandated sentence guidelines back in the 90s? They can say all day long, Bill Clinton has apologized, Hillary Clinton has apologized, and they blamed it on hearing the cries of the people, that the people wanted them to do something about sentencing guidelines. And so that's why they did a lot of heavy sentencing back then. But again, you know, whether it was the people that made them do it or whether it was their hearts, I don't trust no politician. But what I can say again is President Trump has been vital in combating mass incarceration.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So what I did is I pulled up a comparison chart because you know I'm a businesswoman as you know as you already know, but I like to see the numbers and the money and where they're going. And so with the comparison chart and what you just said about Trump is he's not really a politician. He's a
You're not gonna
business.
show us the chart. You're gonna hide it from us.
Oh,
Or,
you
or
know, I didn't pull it up. I should have pulled it up. I didn't pull it up, but I'm going to tell you. So, from the economic standpoint, we know that, you know, the Democratic Party is with minimum wages and they're with higher tax rates for higher income brackets. This was born out of an anti-federalist ideas, but evolved over time to favor more government regulation. So we know that the Democratic is trying to focus more on government regulation. And so the Republican Party, and this is why I do side for the Republican Party, they believe taxes shouldn't be increased for anyone, including the wealthy. And that wages should be set by the free market. And I'm definitely for this. Even when I'm doing payroll, and I'm just gonna again, we're talking reality. When I'm doing payroll, it hurts me when I see that, I can increase someone, but half of what I'm increasing them literally goes to taxes. That can be kind of frustrating when you're like, the more money they begin to make, the more they're taxed on it. So sometimes they don't even, as an employee, you don't really look at um what the employer has actually paid you. You're looking at your net. So you looking like the employer is slaving me. In reality, it's not the employer, it's how much you're being taxed. So sometimes people can get frustrated because they're like, why am I being taxed on the more money that I'm making? I'm being taxed more money. So for me, that's why I begin to side with the Republican Party. Because remember, I told you, I'm not talking about the person, the him or the her. I'm really talking about the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. So when I'm looking at the chart and the comparison, it makes me side more towards the Republican when we're talking about numbers, when we're talking about numbers and taxes.
I think the him and the her is a distraction of the policies. The him and
It
the her
definitely.
is that's just a surface layer of things, which again that draws some people away from the real conversation. What is the policy of the parties? Good afternoon, Rose. What is the policy of the policies? What is it that the different parties believe in? And again, my thought. I think that I think once again, everything that we do has a consequence to it. So if you say you're going to give more people more money, my problem with the government has always been, well, who's going to pay for them? Who's going to pay for that? Because if you're printing more money then begins to lose its value. Again, and if you're giving out more checks, if President Ronald Reagan said something years ago that sounded mean, he says, I don't believe that we should pay people to be lazy. I think it's a fine line in helping people. We should help people. My mother was on welfare many, many years ago, so we should help people. But again, when does helping starts hurting people? When does Section 8 starts hurting individuals? At some point in time, individuals who are receiving government subsidizing or government assistance or receiving it should never be there to be a crutch. And
Right.
so we have to be able to discern, well, when is helping hurting? And then why is it fair that the wealthy get penalized for being wealthy?
Right.
Why is it fair? Why is it fair that I'm penalized in my taxes for making the amount of money that I make as hard as I've worked? Or and what I don't like, Chantel, is I was speaking to somebody, and I don't know if they're on yet. I know they're coming on. God has given me discipline and taming power. So a lot of conversations I kind of pass up, and I don't say anything because I have to keep in mind, as my eldest son say, I am the Archbishop, and he says it with parentheses, Devin, when he says, what I do. But so I try to pass up a lot of conversations. But the Democrat Party, there was a conversation going on Facebook yesterday that I jumped in. I didn't know the lady, and she actually inboxed me and says, "Wow, thank you so much," because they were trying to bully me on the and she was being, she's an older lady, and it's almost as though the Democrat Party has such disdain for people who are wealthy, and I think it's hypocrisy, because yet y'all let, or they let, or I start grinding my teeth. They parade Barack and Michelle Obama around, and they are some of the most wealthiest people that you will ever meet. And so the conversation was, Donald Trump is rich. He ain't never had to work for nothing in his life. And I'm like, so are we supposed to be mad about that? Are we, this is the conversation going on. He ain't never had to work for nothing. His father, and I'm like, ain't that the way it's supposed to be? Your parents are supposed to. The Bible says parents leave an inheritance, a righteous man leave an inheritance for his children's children. Mm-hmm. So it's almost as though the Democrat Party is mad at people who are wealthy. And they're mad because, well, people who are wealthy and who live in the big houses on the hill, they should pay more taxes. People that live in Florida with palm trees outside, like Chantel, they should pay more taxes. People that that get in the car and look forward to getting up every day and dropping their kids off at school, they should pay more tax. And I'm like, why are we being punished for aspiring to live the American quote unquote dream? Why are we being punished now for those? Sometime, of course, we know that it was not by any individual of something that they may have done. But then sometime it was by people who were just lazy, people who just, go ahead.
So did I ever tell you about the crab mentality?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so, it's similar to the crab mentality, because, whoever's, when the crabs are trying to get out, whoever's, getting out, the crabs are going to, pull them down. And so someone had shared the story with me about, within the Black community. And it started, I hate to go way back in history, y'all, this history for a second, but that reminds me of the crab mentality, that we as Black people have a crab mentality. And someone was giving me, information on history and how that started. And they felt like the crab mentality started from when all the slaves would be out in the, picking the cotton, that the slave owner would come out and pick one slave and bring them into the house. And so they felt like when that one person made it in, there was no chance for anyone else, right? So that one slave made it into the house. They made it to the big house. They made it into the air conditioning, all that great stuff. And so as a community, we've carried on that slave mentality, even though that's not the case, that if one person becomes successful, one person has more than we have, we begin to want to pull them down because of the slave mentality, because we feel like there's no room for anybody else. So they've been brainwashed to feel like if you go up, there's no room for anyone else, right? So we've carried that mentality on into our natural life, which we're always going to say they know that that's our mentality. So that's what they're feeding our community, to continue to say they who have made it out, if they're African American that's rich now, if they make it out, there's no room for you any longer. So that's what keeps them to make our community feel like, no, that the rich is this and the rich is not doing this, and the rich should be taxed and the rich should be penalized, because if they're not penalized, then we don't have a chance to make it and come out either. So we've learned that crab mentality, when reality that's no longer, just because of your success or because of my success does not limit anybody else's success. But since, we've been fixated to think that way, we want you to be taxed. We want to look at it as a bad thing that you've come up and you've made it out, and, you not knowing it's still so much other things that you have to deal with. But they put that on us. And so we carry that along. And so we carry that along even with making government decisions and politics. We carry that mentality on, that we don't want anyone to have more than us, or more than the next person, or more than, long as you ain't doing better than me kind of mentality, you know. So, and if you are, you need to be taxed. If you are, even though you put the work in, even though you slaved, even though you for countless years you cried and did all whatever you had to do to make it out, because you made it out, you need to be penalized because I'm still here. So I think that carries on. So I definitely understand what your statement is. I definitely understand how you feel when you like, why does somebody that did make it out have to be looked at as a bad thing? Why? Because I'm in a different tax bracket. Why does it have to be looked at as a bad thing? And I'm gonna tell you how far it goes. Even my son growing up, and because you said a key thing, you said, why do our children have to suffer? And even as young children would tell my son that, well, you're gonna be okay because your mama doing this, your mama got her own business. That it made him not even want to even the help. Like, he didn't even understand that he walked into an inheritance. He like, I don't want that. I don't want the inheritance. I don't want help because everybody talked about me. They said only reason why I'm gonna be successful is because of you. So I'm gonna figure it out. And so we make hard look like it's good. You know what I'm saying? What is the quote? Work smart, not hard. You know what I'm saying? Why does it have to be a mentality that we can't level up and we have to be taxed or we have to be hit harder because we've already done the hard work? So I definitely understand where you're coming from when you speak on why does rich have to look bad? But it's only in our community. Let's talk about it. It's in our community. I don't think in any other, and I'm not just talking about Caucasian, I'm talking about Asian and every other community. Rich does not look bad.
You just got an agreement with Angela.
Oh, I agree, Chantel. Oh, thank you, girl. Thank you. Finally, I thought she better have. See, I got to see about her in a minute.
You just gotta, absolutely. Angela says something. Let me throw this in for the sake of debate. She talked about the 40 acres and a mule. Now something that I did agree with Kamala Harris. I think they have asked her about reparations a few times, and she said, she made a comment, said, well, we would have to see how that looks and how that could be done. That answer I actually agree with her with, because how would that even look when we start talking about reparations? And here's the other thing about that too, because I know actually it's in your state with Governor Ron DeSantis. I know there was some question about the textbook of slavery and the history of slavery. I've talked to some Caucasian people, and I've talked to some really conservative Caucasian people. And one of the things that they said was, how long will we be penalized for what a bunch of ignorant people did that we had nothing to do with? So they looked at it from the point, we don't want people to forget about slavery, and be it it's a part of history, but they feel like it's like bringing back up or opening up old wounds if you keep bringing it back up. And then the other side of that conversation that I've heard from some Black people or African Americans, what does reparations even look like? Right. How do you decide who would even get reparations? How do you even decide, how do you even decide? And then how do they get it? Again, it's and I know they have the whole Indian thing and reservations and land that they have given Indians. So, what is your thoughts about reparations and 40 acres and a mule?
So two things. I want to hit reparations, but I want to go back to the slavery, pulling it out of the schools, because I definitely have to hear your stake on it. So the reparations, I'm for it, but like you said, how do you do it? And not only how do you do it, but how do you fix the mentality? See, I'm with the root of the problem, because we can give, because y'all remember when everybody got, I'm gonna say when we got all that money back in COVID, you seen everybody in Gucci, Louis, everything, and maybe a few of them started their own business. So my thing is, how do we educate before we give them a reparation? Because you can give me $1 million, but if I don't know what to do with $1 million, I'm gonna blow it. So that's why you see so many people and you see millionaires in bankruptcy. Like, it's not about just getting the reparations, or how do we give it out, but what do they go through? What kind of education, what kind of equipment, or how are they equipped to be able to handle this $1 million? You know, you hear a lot of celebrities saying, well, I'm not just going to give my kids when I pass, I'm not just going to give them this because they're going to blow everything that I work for if they don't know how to sustain it. And then the second thing, thank you, Billiquist. See, she with me. I agree from Billiquist. She support me. I love you, Billiquist. Thank you, girl. But I want to ask you, how do you feel? Because I actually was talking to a Caucasian lady and she was upset about that law. They're taking, slavery out of the schools. Or they're talking about taking it out of the schools and whatever the case may be. And she was actually surprised of my response. And so my response was good. Because to me, in my opinion, first of all, teach your children what you want them to know. So you can't be mad when someone takes a book out of the school, because we need to be the ones. And I rather be the one to narrate the story of slavery than the school narrate the story of slavery, because you have little kids that's impressionable and they come in and they automatically, because they're reading these books, they automatically feel superior, and automatically your child feels inferior because you have someone narrating giving the narrative of the story of how it should look. And so now you're looking at yourself like less than, as opposed to looking at yourself as, I am who God, I'm trying not to preach, I don't know how I get, but I am who God said I am. So I'm not so upset, and some people are like, oh, you should be upset, they're going to take it out. Teach your children what you want them to know. And you narrate what it looks like. You talk about who was famous and who made the red light and who created peanut, because they kind of slim through that. They're going to tell you how you was beaten and how you was oppressed, as opposed to telling you how famous and great, some of your Black counterparts are. So how do you feel on that? Like, what's your take on them taking, the books out of the school?
Absolutely. Dr. Martha West, good afternoon to you. I seen you just came on in there in St. Louis. I think that, so from what I remember when I was growing up in school, I think it was in our social studies book, if I believe slavery, I feel like it could stay. Again, I see what some of the other Caucasians are saying. Well, how long are we going to keep talking about this? How long are we going to keep, teaching about this? When is enough enough? I think it's good. I think, it's good, because the other part of that is some parents are not there to teach their kids. I think that our kids should be taught about slavery. I think they should be taught about the struggles that we had to go through to get to where we are. But I think it should be with some type of limitations. I don't think that it should overtly cause racism or cause blacks to hate whites and whites to hate blacks when it's being taught. I think it should be taught in a way of, matter of fact, hey, this is history. This is what it was. This is what happened. And this is where we are now, if that's even possible.
Okay.
If that's even possible. We got another video to play, but before we play that video, let's preference this video. I'm sorry, but the world gives it to Donald Trump, President Trump. They call him the Orange Man. They call him all type of names. But we do have a video to play, and it is the one with Vice VP Kamala Harris, and it's been going around as the angry Black woman video. So we ready to play that one?
Yes, we're getting ready to play it.
You give me your thoughts as a Black woman.
Okay.
Time to turn the page. You've been vice president for 3.5 years. So what are you turning the page from?
Well, first of all, turning the page from the last decade in which we've
Let's
been...
pause that right quick. Let's go through. Let's pause that. Let me make a notation. Whenever a Black woman says, first of all, there we go. All right, go ahead. I'm ready.
From Donald Trump that has been designed and implemented to divide our country and have Americans literally point fingers at each other.
Madam
That
Vice
is
President, more than
turning the page.
70% of people
That is
tell
about turning the
pollsters-
page on rhetoric that people are frankly exhausted of, Brett.
You've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
But you're
people
the
have
lever of
become,
power.
but listen, over the last decade, it is clear to me, and certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me, the former chief of staff to the president, Donald Trump, former defense secretaries, national security advisor, and his vice president, one, that he is unfit to serve, that he is unstable, that
Good day for
She started grinding her teeth. What is it that
I don't, at this point, I don't feel that she's fighting for Democrat or Republic or man or woman. I feel like I'm sorry, black or white. I feel like she's fighting for the fact that she's a woman at this point. Like, I feel like she feels attacked already. Does that make sense? Sometimes that can kind of put your back up against the wall. I feel like she's almost, like you said, on defense. First of all, like, I don't even think first of all, like, I feel like she's more on. And so I almost feel bad for her. Like, I feel like she has so many, it's way past this debate to me. Mm-hmm. It's way past the debate. And I feel like she's now just like, I'm fighting now, and I feel like she should be fighting in a different way. She should be fighting and articulating herself more, helping us understand the solutions and what she will do right now. But I definitely feel like I'm throwing something out there to help her. I'm throwing her life jacket at this point, because I really wanted her to be able to, articulate herself well and stand on her grounds and say, this is what I'm going to do.
Angela says, I call it right.
Right. So I'm fighting for it.
Is it a two-tier system though? Because you feel bad for her. But if it was a man that acted that way, no way would we let him off the or if it was Donald Trump that started grinding his teeth and growling and getting all, so it's like, what the Democrats, what confuses me is, like, one minute y'all want her to be equal, and then the next minute, oh, she's a woman, she should never been talked to like that, or she should have never been questioned like that, or she should have never been at. But they do it to Donald Trump all the time. Right.
And Billiquis, she's definitely making it personal. But when it comes to a man and woman, a man is automatically, I don't care how strong a woman can say we are, men are still physically and mentally stronger than us. And I feel like she's losing at this battle now, because that's what it has become. To me, it's almost no longer, this political fight. It's literally man against woman. And I mean, all day long, I just feel like men are definitely, they're going to win that game. If she stays in her strength, if she goes back and takes the personal stake out of it, that I'm a woman and these are men, and she gets back into politics and she gets back into what is her purpose, why am I here, this is why I'm doing it, then she may come back up. But I definitely feel like she's lost her purpose and her reason behind what she's doing. And I can't judge her on that. You never know how it feels to get in a room with a whole bunch of men and, you like, I gotta say my steak.
You're gonna owe Billiquis a dinner, because she is on it.
Yes, Billiquis. Thank you. I definitely am gonna owe Billiquis. I finally got someone on my team. Thank you, Billiquis. I appreciate that.
Again, for me, I think when people want to be treated equally in leadership positions, we can't see color and we can't see sex. Mm-hmm. So again, it's not good for a bunch of, Black women to come together and say, oh, the white guy was disrespectful to her, or the white guy was over talking her, or she's a female. But if she wants to be the president of the United States, that's not an office that gives deference to man or woman. it's an office that gives deference to the ability to be demonstrated that you can lead the country. And so, you know, just as much as they say stuff about President Donald Trump, you know, who wants somebody who can flip off the handle? Well, who wants the angry Black woman?
I don't know. No, that's not fair. I don't think she's the angry Black woman, but I definitely get your
Well, what's the
stake.
definition of the angry Black woman?
First of all, no, I'm just joking.
that I mean, what's the definition?
No, I just feel like she's lost her purpose, and I definitely feel like let's go to Hillary Clinton. She stood her ground.
Mm-hmm.
Now Hillary Clinton, I definitely would have voted for Hillary because she man or not, she stood her ground. And so again, I definitely feel like Harris.
Wait. I hope we don't get blocked on Facebook. Did you just call Hillary Clinton a man?
No, did I? No. I said I said she stood her ground.
You sure you wasn't throwing shade?
No, I did not say.
You said Hillary Clinton, man or not. Did anybody else hear that?
No, I did not.
You said man or not, as though
I probably was like, man, she stood her ground. Like, man, comment.
No, you said Hillary Clinton, man or not, like she's a man, maybe she may not be a man. But I mean, but okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just want to clarify.
No, that's just my statement.
Angela Brown said like she did. So you call Hillary a man. I just want to let you
know. I'm saying like, man, I would have, you know, that's my excitement. Mm-hmm. Man, I would have definitely voted Hillary Clinton because she was
stoic.
Yeah.
We could not tell. We did not get emotional responses from her, which I respect that. Right. Because a man, you wouldn't get that emotional response from.
Angela, when I see you next week, because believe me, I'm gonna have to see about you. Those wings that you be wanting is over with.
So you don't think she's qualified as the angry woman. Let's talk about women's rights with the last 20-some minutes we got left in the broadcast.
Okay, but let me tell you my comparison chart. My comparison chart is stance on, we're going to go into women's rights, so stance on abortion. And so just so everybody's clear, Democratic Party wants it to remain legal, and Republicans feel it should be illegal for abortions. And so when we talk about women's rights, the biggest thing about women's rights is abortion. That's a huge policy regarding women's rights. So how do you feel as a man, a non-woman, about those two?
I feel that a woman, I think that, you know, I hear Republicans say that it's on the base situation. Like if a woman was raped, if a woman, if it was incest, if it's threatening her life, that's something different. But the only way that a woman gets pregnant is through, sexual intercourse. So then therefore, if you're getting pregnant through sexual intercourse, I mean, there's no miraculous pregnancies like Mary in the Bible. So if you're getting pregnant through that way, why is it that you would be not responsible enough to protect yourself? And so I don't think I don't believe in it. I don't believe in abortion being a way of I can do whatever I want to do with my body. Well, then therefore you shouldn't have had sexual intercourse.
Now,
unless it is incest, unless it is rape, unless it is incest, rape, it's a life situation. I don't believe in it because again, for you to say, "Oops, I messed up, I did it," and again, it's not a white or black thing to me because white girls have abortions, black girls have abortions. I'm not here to defend. Well, white girls, they've been having abortions and morning after pills and maybe so. Probably so. I ain't white. I'm not in that community. I wouldn't doubt it. I don't doubt it. But to all of my black sisters, how irresponsible is that? So
now, are you just putting it on our black sisters or the brothers as well? Because
I'm first putting it on the Angela agrees with me. I'm first putting it on the sisters because the sisters are the ones that want to have the right.
Okay.
The sisters are the ones, this is my body. Nobody tells me what to do with it. Nobody tells me what to do with it.
Okay.
I hear a little feedback. Is that my mic or your mic?
No, that's mine. I think it's something going on. I try to hit mute, but it's something going on out here.
Okay, we'll go. We'll get through it. But I'm so now I'm not even speaking with the man or joint rights. I'm speaking solely from the woman who stands up and say, my body, my right. But then where's your right of responsibility? Because love without discipline is a death sentence. And so if you out here willy-nilly in it and getting pregnant, there's other things that come with that. Babies, diseases, a whole bunch of other stuff.
So what about the mental maturity? You know, you have a young woman that's 19 and you're saying she should know better. That means you're judging her to live this, you know, in this perfect, you know, in the perfect world. Yeah, you should know better. But what about those, you know, those mental maturity where she's not, you know, the man did swoon her, she in love, and, you know, she know that she just can't do it, you know, like, and I'm not saying I'm for it. I'm just asking. I'm always going to give that back and forth question. But what about the mental maturity of it?
She is laid in her bed of consequences. She is laid in her bed of consequences.
True. Amen. I mean, because we do have, you know, adoption in other forms that if you literally can't do it. So there is.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Are you on? Are you got your mic plugged in?
It's not my mic. It's something like right outside.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say your mic sound like a broken refrigerator.
Yeah. No.
All right, we good. All right, I just wanted to make sure. All right, we good. All right. I think that again, however old she is, we learned about sexual education very young in school. And we know the repercussions of sexual education. You can get pregnant. So if you get pregnant, you can't come now, oh, I'm too young. Oh, this is going to mess up my life. You should have thought about that.
Some people did not learn that. Some mothers have not sat there and had that birds and the bees conversation. Like some people just grew up like, okay, I just want to be loved. I just want somebody to love me. You know, like some people didn't have those kind of conversations. So we can't say all people have the knowledge or education to know better.
So did we not grow up? Does everybody not know that Mrs. Piggy and Kermit belong together? I mean, we all knew Mrs. Piggy and Kermit. We knew that and so usually you know what happens, that a baby comes when there is some type of intercourse. And so then therefore, I say to every woman, whether she's 16 on up, unless it was incest, unless it was rape, unless it was something non-consensual, if that's what she does, what again, let's take doctors out the equation. What if there was no doctors? For me, it's like now you're using it as a contraception or, yeah. You on mute? Oh, there you go.
I was agreeing with you. Definitely, some people are using it for the you know, contraception or just, oops, I made a mistake. Let me just go get rid of it. But I definitely feel like if there's an emergency situation, like you said, if there was rape, if there was incest, if there was, you know, those type of situations, definitely there should be a medical way to, you know, abort that procedure. But
so for the record, not going down the middle, or not going to the right or left, just going straight down the middle. You say you don't believe in it?
Right. I mean, so I don't believe in abortion, but I don't believe that someone should still have that say so over what that person decides to do with their body, or, you know, does that make sense? So I don't believe that you should abort the baby. I don't believe that you should go kill the baby. I don't believe that. But what I'm saying is when somebody is saying we now have the right to tell you what to do with your body is when the issue. So I don't think that everybody's like, oh, abortion is right. I feel like women still want to say, okay, well, if you say I can't do this, what else are you going to try to take away from me? What else are you going to say women cannot do? What's next? So you're telling us what to do with our bodies, but yet, just like you gave an example, you're allowing men to come into the bathroom, like make a decision what we're doing in this world. Because right now I feel like we just all over the place.
Right.
So you're taking away free will, but at the same time, because God gives us free will, even though we got consequences, we know that. But you're taking away free will, but yet you're giving will over here to a man that can come in the bathroom with our daughter that might be in there.
So you don't believe in it?
No, I don't believe it's right, but I feel like a woman should have the choice to make her own conscious.
So you believe in choice, but you don't believe in the
Right.
choice.
Yeah, I feel like you should have the choice. I feel like you should have the choice.
So you believe in the choice, but you don't believe in the choice.
I'm just saying I believe in having the decision to do. God gives us free will.
Saying you believe in the choice. You believe in them having a choice, but then you don't believe in the choice.
Right, exactly. Yes, I'm not going to agree with you to say, oh yeah, let's go abort this baby. But I feel like they still,
But negates.
Yeah, but negates everything that we just said.
Right, everything you just said. So you're negating it. Right. You're retracting. Because
I mean, I'm in reality, like I've been around, people that have made that decision, been there, supported them through that process. Younger years where you just didn't know any better. You know what I'm saying? Like didn't know any better. This is the consequence. Now, what I will say, and even when I give mentor advice to young women, is a lot of times, like I think it was Billiquist said they were just doing it just to do it. But they use it as contraceptive. So what I'm gonna say to that is I have seen a lot of young women have an abortion and get pregnant right after. Mm-hmm. So I feel like on their end, then that's wrong because you aborted the child to only become pregnant right after.
So you don't believe in it, but you do believe in them having the right to a choice.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. All right. I get it. I get it. I'm there. I just wanted our audience to know what you believe in.
Right. You just wanted me to make a sound decision.
Yeah. I just said, okay. All right. I get it. We got any questions in the comments about anything that we have talked about as it relates to the political climate? Are Republicans for the elite and Democrats for the underdog?
How do you feel? Are Republicans for the elite? Yes. Democrats for the underdogs? Yes.
Actually, I think it's flipped around. I think the Democrats are for the elites and the Republicans is for the underdog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually think it's flipped around. I think everything is about, I think the Democrat Party has become the party that they so much despise. That's a revelation within that something you hate so much, you become. And again, so I really do think that the Republicans are for upward mobility, therefore pulling people up.
Okay, I hear. Okay, you broke it down well. Thank you, sir. That was great.
Awesome. Absolutely.
All right. Angie says she is for right of choice. She is for right of choice. Right of choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right choice. I get it. And I think the way that you broke it down, I think that was good. And I think it gives people that right of choice. It gives them your opinion of what you believe, but then of course it leaves the ball within their court. And so I say this, that the myth is that the Republicans kill Roe v. Wade. Oh, there we are right there. Janet, that's the person I was telling you about. Hey, Janet, I tagged you. It is so good for us to be friends. And I met her on yesterday, Chantel, when I jumped in on Facebook on the conversation. They don't recognize they are hating themselves. Truth. Wow. So she says they don't recognize that they're hating themselves. Truth. I believe she's talking maybe about either the Democrat or the abortion thing. Let us know which part you're talking about, Janet. But again, I just think that, Angela Brown says, why is this election so important? You want to answer that?
All right, Angie, that is a great question. And my stake is I'm of the kingdom. But I definitely feel like this election is important because we're facing a lot of things right now. You know, we're facing inflation, we're facing war, we're facing the value of the United States of America. So we really want to find the best candidate that's going to ensure that the value of United States of America increase or stay high. Just like Art said, upward mobility. We're always wanting to go up. And at this point, where they talked about the dollar, the US dollar decreasing, and we definitely don't want the US dollar to decrease. So being the election is definitely important with finding the right candidate that can put us back in a place of upward mobility, be able to handle the wars and the things that go on, making sure that our tax money is going into the right places, within the world as a whole, and just ensuring that we can eat, the chemicals that's being put in food, and just so much that's going on, the food that's going up in price, making sure that we can have a roof over our head. The young generation that are renting, some people, I mean older, are renting too, but the young generation coming out of school and having to pay $2,500 a month just for rent is just outlandish. And then we're wondering why they're lost, or we're wondering why there's depression, and we're wondering why they don't know what direction to go in. So I definitely feel like this election is very, very essential and very important, and that's why we're getting on here to not say we know everything, but we're getting on here to debate, to talk about it, to give each other some advice, and see where we're going to be, so that when we vote, we take our country to the
And I think that it is very important that we would just add, Janice says, God choice is always right. Get ready.
Amen.
Someone that wants and needs a baby. Absolutely. I absolutely agree, Janet.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I just think that the Democrat Party has become a party of everything that it said it didn't stand for, it stands for. It's bullying people.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't vote like them, if you don't talk like them, you are an enemy of them.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't sway with them, if you don't, again, everything. And it's like, when will it stop?
Mm-hmm.
Again, our daughters are not safe any longer. I told you I was with my wife, and we were at that Chipotle place I can't never pronounce. My wife always pronounces this for me. And I made a joke because the men's bathroom was in the front, the women's bathroom was on to my right. And I said, well, where's the bathroom? They said, oh, well, the men's bathroom is up there. The women's bathroom is right there. I turned back around and said, wait a minute, I can actually use the women's bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy and the two girls were just like, went into frozen mode. They didn't know what to say, but the manager was like, he's right. If he identifies with being a woman, he could go himself right there in the women's bathroom and use the women's bathroom. And it's that type of stuff that I don't believe in. It's like, where will this stop at with the Democrat Party? Where, again, it ain't even about love, but
Mm-hmm.
it's about, now you all are gonna make my daughter be in the bathroom with a man
Mm-hmm.
who says that he identifies with being a man. Where does it stop at that men now can play in women's sports? Where does it stop at that anybody that and that's one thing about the Democrats, they want big government, and all big government does is dictate rules.
Mm-hmm.
Big government, where will it stop? Where if I'm a Christian and I have a Christian daycare center, and I say, well, every boy has to dress like a boy. But if it's the Democrat Party, they're trying to pass laws that will say, well, no, a boy can dress like a little girl. But then what happens to the other 11 boys that's in the classroom? Then that becomes confused.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing it play out in real time, because we've seen Disney do it. We're seeing it on the TV now. We're seeing it in the movies now. It was never like this when I was growing up. But again, the party of the Democrats is a party that is such a liberal party, and with too much freedom comes undisciplined and unchecked behaviors.
That's good. All right, you need to role play that. Too much freedom comes with what, Arch?
I don't remember. The good thing about it, we're gonna cut and slice it. We're gonna cut and slice it. Janet has given us a bit of history. She says, "Dem were the original KK party in my parents' age. Dems were for slavery. It was the Republicans that went to war to stop slavery." That's absolute truth. That's history right there.
Mhm.
That's that is what it is. That's history. I want us to play our last video we have, and again, Angela Brown says yes. All right, I got some bag up, Janet. I got Angela. Thank you, Janet and Angela. I got some bag up on today again. Do we really want to hide the red box again from Trump? Again, I think that President Trump. We had 4 years of President Trump. We didn't have no wars. We didn't have no nuclear holocaust, and so I'm safe. If Chantel was to ask me, well, who am I voting for? Everyone knows who I'm voting for. I'm voting for President Donald J. Trump. I think he needs to be the president. And I think that he needs to be the president, not just because of who he is, but because of the party he represents. And I think we don't want to get lost in the sauce. Again, and I said this in the conversation that they were having with Janet on yesterday when they were bullying, that this man has built so many skyscrapers in New York. This man has done a whole bunch of things. And then when people say, well, he filed bankruptcy. Well, there's a lot of successful people that have filed bankruptcy. So I'm not moved by that. But again, that's who I'm voting for. Let's roll the video.
Roll the video. And filing bankruptcy is good. It means you learned some things.
So that way you'll get rid of the oil. And then that's good. We're going to bring them over directly to this one. All right. Very good.
Grab one while it's really hot. See if you can touch that sucker.
So we're going to bring that basket far right, all the way over to the right, and hang it right up there. And then we got another one.
How cute is this car? The next car?
Yeah, they get both ways.
You like them both at the same time?
Yes, that is right.
Hello, how are you? You're a good looking guy. We love you. Give me a thank you very much. Thank you very much. I will. I promise. Thank you very much. That's on you. Okay? Have a good time. Thank you very much. See you. I'll see you at the White House. Hands are nice. This guy's a good instructor. Wow. I'm going to give a really big one so that, look at that, they're just pouring out of it. How good is that? I'll go here, Mark. I'll have them. She's been with me a long time. She's the only one who can afford to have them.
Now, do you want to keep going with the fries?
I love it. I love it. And I think that it's who he is. It is who he is. And yes, what are your thoughts? Are you asking why? Why did he do that?
And you already know me. Yes. Why? And again, I'm not against him. I just feel like politics is politics.
Oh,
they're gonna play the role.
Nicole don't came in. He did it because that's who he is. He did it because he's always been a person of showmanship. And again, I think that well, let's get ready to be locked and loaded. I think he's a person of showmanship, and what he did, it's just who he's always been. You know, one of the other interesting things I say, Chantel, because people love to spin narratives. You know, when those five boys, the Central Park Five, mm-hmm. you know, when they were accused of raping a woman. And again, when you look at the story, we don't know what happened in the interrogation room. Some say the police interrogated a couple of them and made them admit to it, which we know the police will do stuff like that. That mm-hmm. we know. But I find it interesting that people be like, well, President Trump said that they should get the death penalty. Were we mad because a white man said that 5 black kids or 5 black teenagers who was accused of beating and raping a woman should get the death penalty? Well, we had that same energy if Bill Cosby or a black man would have said it? Absolutely not. It's because a white man said, and this is what this is why people don't like me, because I say the things people don't like. I tell the truth, you know, and I'd be the first one to say it. My wife and I, because we used to have ministry in the Bronx, there was a big killing years ago in the Bronx, and it was a couple Black kids and Latinos. I said they should give all of them the death penalty, because you seen in broad daylight, they pulled up, a red truck pulls up, and just like a Wild Western movie, they get out of their windows and they just start letting off shooting. Of course, on the camera, all you see is sparks, and they killed the guy sitting in the white BMW. Round them all up, give them the death penalty. But
I don't believe in the death penalty at all. I feel like no one has a decision.
Right, but my thing is, I think we spin narratives. If a white man would have said give those minorities the death penalty, it would have been, oh my God, why would a white man say that? My thing of sanity is, if you take a life, I'm kind of still with that Old Testament. You gonna have to give your life, just period, point blank. But I think people like to spin narratives, and so that's one of the new narratives. Well, Donald Trump, he wanted to. I'm invited to listen. He wanted to give those 5 Black kids the death penalty. I think we pit this whole race thing against race, and and it's a bunch of propaganda.
Well, I'm with Angela. What do y'all need to know from today? It is not about race. It's about our land. It's about our country. It is not about race. It's not about Black or white. It's not about him or her. It's really about politics. And again, like I said, pull your comparison chart. See which one you feel benefits you.
Look, she got her chart. Look at her. She
got my chart.
That's what I'm talking about. Printed off of everything. That's what I'm talking about.
I got my chart. So are you for the donkey or the elephant? Are you for the donkey blue, the elephant red? What you gonna do?
There it is. There it is. It's been a great episode. To all of our viewers, Janet Billiquist, Prophetess Nicole Ferguson, to Prophetess Overseer Phil Rose. Just say everybody, I need everybody to go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Chantel, what's the YouTube channel name?
Kingdom Global Media. Kingdom Global Media. Can you drop that? Let me see if I can post it.
Someone says this is great. Billiquist says this is great. All right, there's our YouTube channel just dropped in the chat. Kingdom Global Media. Yes, go over, please. If it was great, Billiquist, everyone that's on, please go over and subscribe to one of the biggest YouTube channels ever. Go ahead and subscribe. We are working on getting our YouTube plaque, and so we need everyone to go ahead and subscribe. Thank you, Angela. Prophetess Nicole Ferguson is this a prophecy, Prophetess Nicole Ferguson, or is this a guesstimate? She says Kamala is going to do something. I'm not even going to say what she says Kamala is going to do. She says Kamala is going to do something. Angela Brown says, I'm on YouTube. Thank you, Angela Brown. Thank you so much. Chantel, you want to have the last words on today? I don't want to have the last words on today, because if I have the last words on today, I'm going to say President Donald J. Trump is going to win. But
all right, well, y'all don't let the woman step up. Thank you for not downplaying my womanhood like they've been doing, Miss Vice President Harris. But no, you guys, blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings. I just pray that, again, like I told you guys last time, whoever wins, our job in the kingdom of God is to pray for all people. Pray that God changes their heart. Pray that God strengthens them. Pray that they do what's beneficial for us as a community, as a whole. You said I had the last word, Arch, don't you?
No, but who do you want to win? Because you started with that video with Dr. Umar and Nick Cannon. So as Nick Cannon as Dr. Umar Johnson, who do you want to win, Prophetess Chantel?
The kingdom of God. Amen.
No. Who do you want to win as president? As you start, that was your video pick. Who do you want to win?
I'm still teeter-totting. I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell you. You know what? I'm gonna tell my reality. I'm gonna tell my truth on November 5th at our watch party.
That's when you're gonna announce before the winner.
Yes, before the announcement. Before at the watch party, I'm gonna say who I'm voting for, who I voted for.
All right. Well, we got Shoot Your Shot with Chantel, and who do you think Chantel is voting for? We got another series that is coming, and all right, it's been great. Thank you, Chantel, and to our audience, thank you. And
thank you, Arch.
We will see everyone next week, Tuesday.
Bye,
Wait. Prophetess Nicole says she's voting for. I'm so sorry, Prophetess Nicole. I don't think so. I think she voted for President Trump. But all right.
Okay, look, she voted for that. But that's good. Yeah. We're gonna have to put in a tally to see who I'm voting for. We're gonna have to take a poll and see who I'm voting for to see if y'all was right.
And look how easy it is. We could say it without calling each other names. We could say it with still loving each other. We could say it with still being friendly and godly. That I'm voting for President Trump.
All right, you guys will see who I'm voting for on November 5th.
No problem.
He could have got in the camera. That's your son.
Yes, that's my son. You can come get in the camera now. Chantel said you can come get in the camera. Make sure you smile because we're on Facebook Live. All right, we out.
All right. Y'all have a happy Tuesday. Wait. She said, why wait? Tell it. Nope, I gotta wait. Y'all gotta wait.
She's waiting to the watch party. Y'all know who I'm voting for, but she's waiting for the watch party.